Hello everyone. Actually, this is again a raw kind of a video, raw stuff um, about the passion of my life. Actually, that's the filmmaking and movie making. And from my childhood, I have been craving for this kind of a stuff. That's I always fan of the movies, and as Mr. Uh, Tom Cruise says, actually, movies are the mirror for the reality and kind of a suspension from reality, and this is true. Actually, it is a suspension from reality. So in this raw kind of video, I am supposed to explain some sound information regarding the filmmaking and its a different procedure actually, and how this creative phase and how the marketing phase of film is done. And this is just a kind of a sound knowledge regarding the all those basic 5 phases of the filmmaking. And there is no such thing in a very detailed manner. um, I'm not supposed to exaggerate all those things, but yeah, in upcoming time, um, if God allows me to do so, I'll explain all those things in a very comprehensive and very detailed manner. But here, um, just a sound information, just something, putting it in a nutshell. Actually, the filmmaking is art of making the movies. It's a kind of a weird kind of a this is kind of a very strange illusion that the still images, when they are combined at a certain amount of time, that becomes fps, frame per second. That frame is that still image actually. And it creates a strange illusion, and it becomes a moving picture, a motion picture. So this is the magic of the movies. Actually, filmmaking is divided into, actually I feel like I divide, and this is my assumption. Actually, I divide filmmaking into two things, actually into two major phases. Actually, I would say the first one would be the creative phase, and the second would be the marketing phase. Actually, marketing phase actually. And in the first phase, actually, this is a major portion. And again, this first phase is divided into four sub phases actually. And the creative sorry the marketing phase is actually the single phase actually, and that would be the distribution phase. Means the marketing phase is nothing but a distribution phase. Creative phase is actually divided into four things. So I divide filmmaking into two things actually. This is my own assumption actually. And this is not a kind of a subjective, no, this is not a kind of an objective thing, that this is a thing. But yeah, filmmaking is, if you see filmmaking from the book point of view, from the bookish language, you will see that it is into 5 phases actually. There, starting from the development, pre-production, production, post-production, and the distribution. But if we see the original tree, then we can assume that there are we can assume that there are actually two things actually. The first one would be the creative phase, other would be the marketing phase actually. And this creative phase is actually now divided into 4 phases. Again, same, development, pre-production, production, post-production. And the second phase, as I told you, that was your marketing phase, and that would be your distribution phase. So totally 5 phases of filmmaking are there. And as I told you, it's a raw kind of introduction for the motion picture or the filmmaking. So I'm not going into detailed way, because again there must be a separate lecture on all those phases actually. So in a nutshell, I would say in development phase, actually, as name tells, it's a development actually. So in development phase, actually, you have your story. Means obviously motion picture starts from the idea of a story actually. And in your story actually, it can be original, it can be adapted. Means it can be from another story, another well-known story or a well-known novel. or it's your own original stuff. So story, the basic thing is story. From then you have your screenplay, means it's a context of your motion picture where your script is included in the screenplay. And there's a basic difference between a screenplay and the script actually. Information of different kind of stuff, short composition, you know, all those technical information. While in the script just the dialogues are written, dialogues are mentioned. It means a script is a part of a screenplay, and a screenplay is a whole, the major context of the motion picture actually. So in development phase your script is there, your screenplay is there. We can say that screenplay, just the screenplay is there. Nothing to mention about the script here, because the script is a part of screenplay. So yeah, screenplay is there, and in a screenplay all those things are there, you know. Your as I told you, all those technical things are there in the screenplay. So I cut to the pre-production phase. Basically pre-production phase is actually your rehearsal phase actually, where you are you know, making the moves for third phase, that is production phase. There is also a shooting phase actually, but in the pre-production phase you are just you know, doing preparations actually, you know. People who are working off the camera, that becomes your crew, and become your crew actually. And the people who are working behind the camera, that become your crew. And the people who are working in front of the camera, on the camera, that become your cast means your actors are the lead actors and the supporting actors. But in crew, all those technician, all those people, technical people like director or DOP, director photographer, cinematographer, all those people are there, you know, in the pre-production phase. In pre-production phase actually you are doing preparation for the location, for you actually financing of the budget, you know, budget or financing your project is also mentioned in the pre-production phase actually. So cut to the production phase. In production phase actually you have a shooting phase. There is a term known as principal photography, that's called where the bulk of your motion picture is shot. That's called the principal photography actually, means you are shooting the bulk, you know, and that's called your shooting principal photography. This is the shooting phase where you are you know, the director is using its mind, the DOP is working, or the cinematographer is working, you know, under the supervision of director, you know. You are shooting all those stuff. And cinematography, that's called the technical art of capturing the motion picture actually, that's called the cinematography. That in cinematography you have your different, you know, things, you know, short composition, camera angle, camera movements. Actually camera movements are based on the devices that are, you know, blessing all those motions. Yeah. Like, you know, if it is a dolly shot, it would be like, you know, based on that dolly. And that's what's a dolly actually. It's a device that, you know, moves your camera, just like a kind of a thing that's based on the wheels, and it moves like that small toy, you know, just like a small car. That's become your dolly shot. And if it is aerial, it would be drone. If it is static, then it would be tripod. Actually tripod can also be movable, like tilt and you know, kind of stuff. But yeah, these mobility of shot is defined by the device, you know, that is giving its a specific kind of a motion. So then the production phase you have shooting phase actually, I told you. And after shooting you have all those things, you have all those scenes. Movies are not, you know, shot in a way so synchronized, you know. It can't be like it's like a non-linear way of shooting, you know. You are shooting for different, at the different point of time, at the different frame of times. It's not in a sequence actually, you know. You're shooting different things at a different time, and it's not in a sequence actually. So cut to the post-production. That's your editing phase, where your sound is edited, your sound is made by a film composer, and your all those shots are done on an editor, video editor. essentially that would be the a non-linear editor like Adobe Premiere Pro or your DaVinci Resolve. And again in post-production your sound is also edited, you are if it is dubbing is also there, you can dub your sound if that is not recorded perfectly on the set in the production phase actually. So dubbing can be also done, video editing, sound editing, all of this stuff. Music making is also done in the post production. So I'm just putting in a nutshell actually. I'm not explaining even the 10% of what's going on at a very deeper level actually. And after that you have a distribution phase actually, where you are selling your movies to any OTT platform or any theatrical release. Actually for independent filmmaker like us, we are not supposed to send our movies to the cinema houses, because again it's really costly, it's a very expensive procedure. So we can, an independent filmmaker like us can sell a movie to a TV channel or media channel via a process that's called the satellite rights. You can sell out your movie. You can send your movie to the film festival. If it is promising, then film festival can appreciate you there there is also kind of a awards here at the film festival. So if your movie is worth watching, or if it's winning a kind of a certain position in at all those film movie festivals, so you can your movie can win something. These were all different phases of filmmaking: development, pre-production, production, post-production, distribution. So as I told you, it was just a raw kind of introduction, because there's a lot to discuss about all those things at a very deeper level. So I guess this is a raw introduction for the filmmaking. I hope it's clear. Really it sounds really strange that I am not explaining all those things in a very detailed way, because this is not a proper way of recording all those sessions, kind of a lectures, but I will, inshallah I will, because I have to, because it's my duty. As per my experience is concerned, I have to share all those things. So development, pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution. So this is the process of making the movies, and I will sort out all this clip, this video, with the words of one of the greatest filmmakers the world has ever seen, Mr. James Cameron. He motivates young filmmakers with these lines actually: pick up a camera, shoot something, and add your name as a director on that clip, on that video, hence you are a filmmaker. And that's true.